All right. So you're either already in a Shavasana to start, or you're coming to find your Shavasana lying flat on your back. And just taking a moment here to completely relax. Completely rest. Just let go the day. Let go the week. Let go the last few hours, the last few minutes. Let go the last few months, the last few years. Just let go. See if you can give yourself the room to be right here. Just be right where you are. I was thinking about what to explore with today's practice, and I kept coming back to depth and intimacy. So we're going to explore depth and intimacy today in all of our movements. And you'll have an opportunity to take that and check out, what does that mean for you? What's that going to mean for you today? For me, that's had a lot to do with wanting very deep stretches during this period in my life, physically. But it might mean something else for each person practicing. It might be about what's possible emotionally, or what's possible in the realm of being for you to access when you explore depth and intimacy. So right now, just take a few beats, a few moments, and explore that through your breath. Through your breathing. See if you can have your exhales be about letting go of any kind of force, any kind of control, anything like that at all. Not like you're not going to pick it back up, but just to explore it. Just to explore it here on your mat, where it's really safe to do that. Just check in with your fingers and your toes and see if there's some organic movement that I want to start exploring. Just any kind of energy in the fingers, the toes, the hands, the feet. It doesn't have to be extreme. It can just be about lubricating your joints, your little joints. And then when you're ready, as you're ready, you can bend your knees, Press your feet into the floor like you would if you were going to take a bridge pose. Don't take a bridge pose, but lift the sacrum and press it back down onto the mat. Flatten it on the mat so the sacrum's nice and flat, lower back is long. And just gently bring the knees in toward the chest. You can take the hands onto the knees and start to pull the knees in toward the chest, lengthening the sacrum even more as you set it back down. So we're just lengthening and lowering the lower back, lifting up to lengthen and then lowering. And then if you can get your arms all the way around your knees and give yourself something like a big hug, just be here for a moment, holding yourself in this little ball. And you can keep the neck nice and long, or it might feel good to even curl your head in and really give yourself the experience of facing inward. Whatever feels good for you. And then we'll set the feet back down on the mat. Bring the left knee into the chest by itself. Hug the knee into the chest. And now we're going to extend the leg. You can interlace the fingers behind the leg and you can move them up the leg. Or if you have the foot, you can take the foot in yogi toe grip, or you can interlace the fingers around the foot. Whatever feels good for you here. And now we're going to get into some deep stretch into the back of the leg here. And we're going to link this stretch, link the breath with the movement. So find a nice deep stretch to begin with, something that's challenging for you right off the bat. And then as you inhale, nice deep breath in, you're going to release the stretch a little bit, very gently bend the knee. And then as you exhale, you'll extend deeper. And you'll just continue to take this over and over here for a bit. And on your inhale, really let go. Feel the air moving into the abdomen. Just let go and feel a big burst of air as you bend your knee. Almost like you're a balloon. The bottom of the belly is filling up. It may feel good to close your eyes here as you move through these stretches. If you notice your legs shaking at all, it's good news. Take just a couple more. And then you can release that. And we're going to take the knee in toward the armpit, start to turn the foot toward the right shoulder. So we're just opening up the leg. We're going to reach around and see if we can get our arms around our leg. Might be a little too much too soon. If that's the case, just take the foot with the same hand and the knee with the knee with the same hand as leg, the foot with the opposite hand. But if you can get your arms around your leg, do that. And just start to explore, what would it take to keep my arms right here, keep pulling my leg in toward my chest and rest back down on the floor. Start to get into the hip here. And as you feel that hip opening up, just breathe into the depth of that stretch. It should be nice, big sensation, big opening through the joints. So we're looking at this today, the difference between depth the experience of depth in the muscles versus in the joints. So this is really opening up the joints, this big, big joint we've got here. All right, good. Let's rest back down on the floor. Take your toe or take your foot or take whatever you're taking, extend your leg one more time, and then set it back down. We'll switch to the other side. So first, the right knee comes into the chest, and then we extend the leg. Either your hands are interlaced behind the leg, or you're taking the foot in some variation, whether it's yogi toe grip. Oh yeah, I see a strap. Yeah, the strap is so great for this. Good. All right, now here we are. Depth and intimacy here. Getting connected to the depth of the stretch. We're going to start linking this to the breath here. So on your inhale, like the inhale is an on switch that lets the belly fill with air. And then exhale, lengthen and stretch even more. Like the inhale, that popping of the knee, that trigger being the knee coming into a gentle bend, fills up the abdomen, and then your exhale extends the leg. Just keep exploring that here. Just a couple more breaths. Good. All right, release that. And then let's start to take knee to armpit and reach around for the foot, either hooking it into the elbow or taking it with the left hand. Getting your leg cradled in one way or another, and then starting to explore. We want to pull the leg in toward the chest, and we want to start to rest back down onto the floor, keeping the leg as close as we can, and finding a big opening through the hip joints. An interesting question here is, what part of the hip is opening up in this shape? Interesting to explore the way you're opening up your hip, and maybe you can explore a new way of opening up your hip. And maybe this way feels great. Let's just take a few more deep breaths in this shape. Good, and then you can release that stretch and come back to whatever you're taking at center. If it's your foot or your strap or your leg, take one more deep stretch through center, and then set the foot back down. Good. Let's start to rock back and forth. We're going to come and rock all the way up to a seated position. Nice to get a few rocks up and down the spine. And then we'll come all the way over onto our hands and knees to tabletop. taking this same idea of exploring depth through the body, we're going to take some pulse movements with the legs here and explore deeper opening in the hips. Let's take the right leg straight back behind us, and we'll lift the right leg right up to be level with the rest of the body. We're going to take 20 pulses here, so you can take this in your own time. Around 1, 2, 3, 4. As you do this, engage the core, especially the low belly. And once you've hit 20, you can lower the knee. Take the same thing on the other side. So engaging the core, especially the lower belly. Press the left foot back behind you, lift that leg straight up, and 20 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You can set that knee back down. As you explore these shapes, think of tabletop as your foundation. Think of your hands being directly underneath your shoulders, knees under the hips, and keeping the hips level as best you can as you move. It'll have you access a different part of the abdomen to keep them level. We're going to take a fire hydrant lift. We'll take 10 of those. You can start on the right side. So lifting. And again, thinking about keeping the hips level as you move. And switching sides after 10. Let's take 10 on the opposite side. Good. All right, from here, reset yourself at tabletop. I'm going to take 2 more variations in our movements from this tabletop position, 2 more kinds of pulsing movements. So we'll take another 20. We're going to kick back, straighten the leg, kick back, and then on an exhale, bring the knee in toward the chest. And we'll take that 20 times. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keeping everything level. Hips together, shoulders together. Good. After you reach 20, switching to the other side. Inhale to lift, exhale to crunch. Inhale and exhale. Back to tabletop after 20. Let's turn the hands around just for a second. Give yourself a little rock through the wrists, taking a circle to one side, circling to the other, opening up through there. It's our last movement from tabletop, and we're really going to open the hips through this next movement. You can turn your hands back to face forward. And the movement is like this. You'll kick back first, you'll flex the foot, and then you'll bring the knee in toward the armpit, kick back and lower. And we'll alternate sides. We'll take that movement 10 times on each side. And we really want to get into the hip. So as you come and you bring your knee in towards your armpit, you're lifting it up as high as you can before sending it back and bringing it down. All right, right side first. Let's lift, knee in, kick back out and lower, and left. Right. Two more each side. Good. Good. Once you've completed both sides, open up the knees. Go ahead and press yourself back into a wide-legged child's pose and rest here. Find a nice stretch. Take any movements here that would feel good for you. Any side stretching, pressing into the hips, wiggling the hips. Good. All right, take one last deep breath out. And on an inhale, start to make your way into your first downward dog of the practice. Coming up, pressing back, finding downward dog, working your way through your pose here. Pedaling the feet to start, absolutely, and eventually finding some stillness in downward facing dog. And then pressing the heels down toward the mat, start to walk the hands back nice and slowly, and just feel the change in the stretch as you move your hands toward your feet. Feel how it changes the nature of the stretch. Come and take a brief forward fold. Give yourself a nice, generous press into the forward fold, and then walk the hands back out to your downward facing dog. From here, let's walk the feet up to meet the hands. Bend the knees. Release the weight of the upper body and start to roll up the spine, one vertebra at a time, coming to stand at the top of the mat. Head and neck are the last things to come up. Turn the palms to face the wall in front of you and find this Tadasana. Find your strength. Find yourself grounded. Feel your feet rooting into the floor. First fully upright position of the class. Good. Let's take a nice deep breath in and exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, palms come together to touch, and exhale, dive forward through flat back, reaching for the floor. Inhale, lift up to a flat back. Exhale, take any kind of a bind that works for you, your toes, your ankles, your calves. Stretch here. On an inhale, lift up to your fingertips. Let's step the right foot back all the way, knee to the mat. Inhale, lift up, interlace the fingers and press into your low lunge. Feel that nice deep stretch through the front of the right hip. Take a deep breath in, lift up out of it, and step the left foot to the outer edge of the mat. And then exhale again into this shape. Feel how the stretch changes. Take your hands down to the mat. Take a couple circles here, just feeling into the different stretches that are possible through the left hip. After circling a couple times in one direction, reverse the circles. Just feel what's possible. Good. And then lift back up into that front stretch. Lift to your low lunge here. Walk the foot back to center. Bring the hands down to the mat. Step back to your plank position. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lift up to your full cobra. Exhale, press back, find your downward dog. Good. Point the left foot back behind you. Lift that leg straight up for three-legged dog. Come up onto your right toes all the way. Stretch through that foot. Lift your left leg even higher. Lower the right heel as much as you can. And let's bend the left knee, open up the hip, and just explore moving the knee around. No particular direction. See what's possible in that hip. Good. And then bring the knee into the chest. Come forward on the hands. Step the foot between the hands. Step the right foot to meet it. Inhale, lift up to a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reverse your dive forward. Palms come together to touch. Exhale, lower hands to heart center. Release the hands. Turn the palms to face the wall in front of you. Take a moment. Take a breath. And then another nice deep breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Palms come together to touch. Exhale, dive forward over the legs, reaching for the floor. Inhale, lift up to a flat back. Exhale, fold forward even more deeply. Inhale, lift fingertips to floor and step the left foot back now all the way. The knee comes down to the mat. Inhale, lift up, interlace the fingers, press into that front leg. Just feel the stretch. Feel that stretch on the left side, wherever it is for you today. And then let's lift up out of it. Let's step the right foot all the way to the outer edge of the mat and come back in it again. Feel how it changes. Good, now take the hands down to the mat. Take a couple circles here, feeling what's possible as you open up the right hip. What's possible here? A couple circles in one direction, and then take it in the other direction. Good. Inhale, lift up, pressing into that variation on a low lunge, and then bringing the foot back to center, pressing in again. Palms find the mat, tuck the back toes, reach back for your plank position. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, lower slowly down to the mat. Inhale, lift up for a full cobra. And exhale, lift yourself back up through plank. Press back to your downward facing dog. Pressing through the left heel, point the right foot back behind you. Lift that leg straight up, three-legged dog. Stretch here and then lift. Lift the left heel, come way up on the toes. The left foot. Lift the right leg even more and then lower the heel as much as you can. And then bend the knee, open the hip. Just explore moving that knee around. How does it change the stretch? Good, now bring the knee into the chest. Come forward onto the hands, step the foot between the hands. Left foot meets the right foot. Inhale, lift to a flat back. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, reverse your dive. Palms come together to touch. And exhale, hands to heart center. Release your hands down to your side, turn the palms to face the wall in front of you, and take a nice deep breath. Close the eyes here. Spend a moment here. Just keep deepening this exploration. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up and overhead. Exhale, diving forward over the legs. Inhale, lifting to a flat back. Exhale, diving over more deeply, further forward. Inhale, lift to your fingertips. Exhale, step the right leg straight back behind you, and we're going to come and find a warrior two. So set your feet up for warrior two. Make all of the adjustments you know to make here. Once your feet are set, I'm going to come and find a reverse triangle. So straighten the front leg, reach both arms up, take the left wrist with your right hand and stretch back. Good. Now let's find an easy extended side angle. Rest your left forearm on your knee. Right arm reaches away from you, past the ear. And then from right here, let's straighten the standing leg, keep reaching, and come and find a triangle. So your left hand will find your shin, your right arm will reach straight up, and you'll look to that right arm. Now we'll take this with the breath. So, inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, find triangle. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, straightening the leg. And on your exhale, you find triangle. Here. Lower the right hand, turn to face the left leg. Come back and find your plank position. Inhale, and on your exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, lifts and lengthens up to a full cobra. Exhale, presses back through child's pose and finds a downward facing dog. And walk the feet up to the hands. On an inhale, lift up to flat back. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, reverse your dive forward, palms come together to touch. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach arms up and overhead. Exhale, dive forward through flat back. Inhale, lift up to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. More deeply, the weight of the body forward on the foot. Inhale, lift up to your fingertips, and exhale, step the left leg back to your warrior two. So set the feet and then windmill up. Good. Make all of the adjustments that you know to make in a warrior two here. Good. On an inhale, let's find a reverse triangle, straightening the front leg and pulling the right wrist back behind you, stretching through the upper body. Good. Let's come forward, find an extended side angle. We'll take the easy variation here. Nice. And from here, start to straighten the front leg. Reach the right hand down the leg and explore twisting up to your triangle pose. Good. Linking this with movement and breath. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, straightens the leg. Exhale, finds your expression of triangle pose. And then again, inhale, reverses the triangle. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, straightens the front leg. And exhale, twists to find triangle pose. Just be here. Good. On an exhale, you can lower your hand to the mat, turn forward to face that front leg, step back to a plank pose. Inhale here in plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, lift up to a full cobra. And let's exhale and press back with knees together to a child's pose. Let's take a moment, rest. Good. Let's reach the arms nice and long from here. We'll take one more heating shape and then we'll take a yin posture to open up the hips even more. So inhale, you can lift up, and exhale, press back to your downward facing dog. We're gonna make our way back to the front of the mat, but in your downward dog here, just check and see if there's any movement you want. Any kind of pedaling the feet, anything at all. And then when you're ready, you can look forward to the front of the mat and you can start to walk the feet forward. And exhale, release over the legs. And then start to roll up the spine, coming to stand at the top of the mat. Now, if you have a block, you can come and take your block right in the upper left-hand corner of your mat. And you're going to stand your 2 feet right together, pressing into one another at the top of the mat. We're going to step the right foot back behind us 3.5 to 4 feet, straight back. And we're going to come and find a warrior one. So now you'll notice I had you step back in a way where your feet are pretty close together. So what's going to happen here, somehow you're going to make your way onto the block with your left foot. And then just check in and see, where do you want this right foot to be? Do you want it to be further back? Do you want it to be closer? And we'll find a warrior one here. So warrior one is already a challenging posture. There's a lot of work going on in the hips to keep them facing forward. So now we add this additional element. Doesn't make it any easier. So just notice we're taking something that's challenging to begin with, and we're increasing the challenge. Now, as you keep revolving the right hip forward, we'll reach the arms up and overhead, shoulders away from the ears. And we're just gonna press as deeply as we can into that front leg. Keep pressing through the back heel, and then lift up and out of it. And let's go back into it. We'll take this just a couple times so we can really explore some depth in this shape. And then we'll lift back up. And just 2 more times, we'll press into that front leg. See if you can find some real intensity here. And then we'll lift back up. And just 1 more time. Good. All right, release your hands. Get that left foot off the block. Step the 2 feet back together. Shake out the legs. Good. Taking the block to the opposite side of your feet. And taking the same thing on the other side. First stepping the left foot back. And then however you do, awkwardly or gracefully, working that right foot onto the block. Now find where your leg position should be. Find your legs coming straight out from your hip joints, giving yourself a little distance between your 2 legs. And get the back foot where you want it for some nice deep work in warrior one. And have your hips be aligned with one another and reach the arms up and overhead. Good, now let's find some depth in Warrior One. And then lift. So we want to create a lot of work. So that's going to mean that you're fully in a 90-degree angle in your front leg, and that you've got lots of extension in your back leg. And then you can come down a second time, or if this is your third, that's good too. And then lift. And then again. And then lift. And last time. And then lift. And remove the foot from the block. And step your 2 feet together. And you can remove the block from the mat. Shake out your legs. And return to your feet, being hip distance apart. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, palms touch. And exhale, dive forward over the legs. Inhale, lift and lengthen to a flat back. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift to the fingertips. Exhale, palms back down on the mat. Bend your knees if you need. Let's start to walk the feet back. Find your last downward dog of the practice. And then keeping the knees hip distance apart, we'll bring the knees down to the mat. I'm going to set up something like a frog. So from right here, you can come and you can rest on your elbows. You can rest on your hands too, if that's easier for you. We're going to start to walk the knees wide apart. We're going to walk them as wide as we can. And we're pressing the pelvis all the way down. We're going to keep the knees and ankles as much as we can in about a 90-degree angle. Although if you want some traction, you might put your feet on your mat just so you have a little traction. And find something that's nice and deep for you, and then press back into it. So wherever you are, you're actually pressing your booty back in space. And then you can ease up on that and continue the work of lowering your pelvis down. And we'll just be here a little while. You may want to stay elevated in your upper body, or you may want to rest your upper body down on the floor and continue that work. So in this shape, it's going to come down to your exhales. That's what's going to allow you to open more deeply. And whatever is there is fine, is all good. This is a good place to close your eyes and just be with sensation. Spend maybe another 30 seconds here. Wherever you are, you can start to lift up to your hands, and we'll gently bring the knees back in toward one another, coming to a tabletop position. And if there's any movement that your body automatically wants, after that, you can go ahead and provide. And then we'll sit back into our child's pose for just a moment. And we'll come forward, and I'm just going to turn right around onto our back from here. Come and find a final Shavasana. Turning the palms to face the ceiling. Checking in. Checking in. Noticing if anything's there. Allowing whatever's there to be there. Seeing if you can allow what shows up to arise and then to pass away. Taking these last 30 seconds of practice to enjoy being So the time is 6 o'clock. You may want to start to wake yourself up and take part in an acknowledgement of the practice. Thanks for taking the time today to come and practice. It's great to have you both. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your evening and your weekend. And Julia, tonight is Meg's night for Yoga Nidra. So if you're in the mood, all right. See you both really soon. Bye-bye.
Very soon. Really nice practice, by the way.
Oh, I can't hear you. Yeah.
Thank you. That was so delicious.
Bye. Yes. Thanks, Meg.